Hello, creatives. Thank you for dropping by. Before we get started, hit that like and notification bell, and it helps out the channel, it helps me out, and it helps us grow. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like what you hear, or if you can get something from what you hear, please leave a comment or like, and that really does help out the channel, and I appreciate it. Let's get started. Today's thought is an interesting one. It's one that most of us who are a little less young understand, but there are a lot of people who hear these thoughts and they're on the younger side. When I say younger side, I mean 20s, 30s, maybe early 40s. I'm a little bit on the other side of 50, so uh, I'm getting there. I'm getting to what this thought is for today, and the thought is no one gets wise by chance. What does that mean? Uh, it takes life experience. It takes living to acquire wisdom. Now, you can have wisdom when you're young but that's different. You can have maturity when you're young. I know a lot of young people who are very mature for their age. Likewise, I know a lot of older people who are very immature for their age. That's not what I'm talking about. The wisdom that I'm talking about is the one that comes with time, with living through experiences, with having rough moments, hard times, and coming through the other side with knowledge. And it's that wisdom that comes from going through the school of hard knocks, having going through some suffering, going through difficult moments, and it's that wisdom that you acquire with the bumps and bruises of life. It's not easy wisdom. It's not the one that you can just get from reading a book or from listening to a teacher. That's not the kind of wisdom I'm talking about. That there is that kind of wisdom, and there's such a thing as book knowledge and becoming academically intelligent and things like that. That's true. But this wisdom is the one that's acquired from living. It's the wisdom that it's kind of like the wisdom you wear in a way. Um, It's the wisdom that young people don't like when the old people get together and the young people are around and the old people say, "Let me tell you, back in my day, that kind of wisdom that a lot of us didn't want to hear when we were younger, and now that we're less young, have acquired and understand. We understand what the older people were trying to share with us. This is that generational wisdom that comes from one generation and passes it on to the next generation, and hopefully gets passed on to the next generation. And hopefully it's good wisdom, right? This doesn't come by chance. It doesn't just happen. You don't wake up one morning and all of a sudden you're wise. That's not how it works. This wisdom comes by being in life, by living, by interacting with others, by being with your family, by being with your friends, by being with your coworkers. This is the wisdom that comes to you from having experience. Excuse me. This wisdom is earned. It's a tough wisdom to get. And I want you to consider today that everyone can get this wisdom, but not everyone wants this wisdom because it means going through difficult moments. It means being uncomfortable. It means learning the hard way sometimes. And not everyone wants to do that. It's just this is human nature. That kind of wisdom, not everyone signs up for it. But it's worthwhile. It's important to have, and we need to have people with that wisdom because that's the kind of wisdom that goes from the older generation to the younger generation, and hopefully that younger generation becomes the next older generation and passes it on to the next generation. It's the kind of wisdom that gets you through situations where you could be here and say, I'm glad I knew what to do in that situation. That kind of wisdom. And it's the kind of wisdom we pass on to our kids. And that's really important. I think we're losing that as time goes on. And it's important to have some semblance in that, have some of that left that you can tell your kids, you can sit them down and say, listen, you need to do this, don't do this. When you're facing this kind of situation, I want you to do this because that's going to help you get through that situation better. And so try to acquire that wisdom. And that means living. That means seeking out people who are smarter than you in terms of life, not just intelligence, but life. Seek out people who are older than you, who are wiser than you, and listen. Sit down and listen to them. And it's not, you don't find that very much anymore. Like with younger people looking up for older people, looking out for them, and trying to find out what they know. When I was young, we used to have a lot of old people in the neighborhood, and we'd go listen to them talk. Sometimes it was talking at us, and sometimes it was talking to us. But we would sit down and listen, and they would have so much to share. And those fountains of knowledge are being lost. So seek them out, look for them, and most importantly, listen to them, because that's one of the ways you acquire that wisdom. Remember, no one is wise by chance. Above all, I want you to be uncommon. Have a great start to your week. I hope your weekend was fantastic. If you enjoyed what you heard here today, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and I really appreciate it. Take care.